Hello, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls of all ages, and welcome to episode 5 of Discheads. Yes, we've made it to 5. It's been a while because life happens, and also, you know, I just wanted a little bit of a break so we can play more disc golf and give you more hilarious content with this podcast. With us today, we have a full crew today. We have my good friend Ben. How are you, Ben?
I'm good. I was just chewing a sweet.
What were you chewing? Wasabi peas?
Yeah.
Living the dream, on fire. And also, we're with the main man, Dan. How are you, Dan?
Yeah, well, I'm as good as can be. One of the reasons that we had a little break was because I've been ill for a week. But yeah, no. So you may hear some violent coughs. Some
random edits of just random noises in the background to stop us all out. So yeah. That's awesome. I'm Lee, also one of the co-hosts of this podcast. Thank you for listening to this podcast, guys, via YouTube or Podbean. And without further ado, Dan, let's get into episode 5. What is on the docket tonight, sir?
All right, so before we run through what we're going to be talking about tonight, we had some good feedback regarding the cast, and we decided to go down to a fortnightly format and do one every 2 weeks rather than every week. Yeah, and that's no guarantee because, as Lee says, life happens. We've all got got plenty of stuff to be doing other than sat around a table talking crap about disc golf.
It's true. Video games mainly. You guys have been playing a lot recently. I've been working a lot. It's been just life happens.
Mate, I've not touched it since I've not touched the station in about a week or so.
Really?
Yeah, life has happened.
Wow. You've touched it more times.
You've been more hours than I normally do, and played the PlayStation more than I normally do, because I just haven't been asleep.
Brilliant.
Zombie.
So tonight we're going to talk about some of the good moments, some of our highlights. We're going to talk about staying consistent. We've got a beginner tip, and we've got disc of the week. I do want to take this opportunity to mention the Pro Tour. We've been watching the Waco Charity Open over the weekend. The Pro Tour has started. We said at the start of the podcast in episode 1 that we didn't really want to talk about the Pro Tour and stuff. And if you do want to get into that, the Am Side's a great podcast for the Pro Tour, and you can always watch them on YouTube. But I'm enjoying it so far.
It's been really interesting because obviously, like we said, like we want to progress as players, and you can watch certain players you like and understand how they throw and stuff. But like the Waco's is actually how the final day led up without any spoilers. There was like about 15, 16 people in it to win it. That's how close it was. It was like the championship league of disc golf on the final day. It was absolutely sick.
Yeah, had me asphyxiated. But yeah. So the first topic we're actually going to talk about, and it leads on from the Waco, is bending the rules. So I posted you guys a video yesterday, I think, and this was of Jared Stall throwing a tomahawk over a forest.
Yes.
Jared Stoll threw what might be the shot of the year so far. On hole 17, a 610 feet par 4, he throws a tomahawk over the entire forest section and lands in circle 1 for eagle. I think from the tee straight to the basket, it's around like 350 to 400 feet. But the reason to why it's labeled 610 is because literally everyone else has to go the left way around with a first drive that gives you opportunity to approach for birdie. There's almost no players out there that can actually throw a tomahawk that far, which is why I think he's the only one who ever tries to do this. The sad part though, which I unfortunately don't have footage of, is that he missed the putt for eagle and ended up with a birdie instead. He even commented that himself on the post from Disc Golf Pro Tour. As much as that sucks, that was still an incredible shot by Jared Stoll.
That is the only way you can describe it.
Not against the rules.
Yeah, cut out half the hole.
It was incredible. It was a great shot.
Not against the rules.
But not against the rules.
Just because everyone else goes round the trees.
Doesn't
Yeah.
mean you need to go around
Yeah.
the trees.
The rule isn't go round the trees, otherwise it'd be a Mando.
Well, yeah, but then you know that.
Just because they can't throw over the trees.
Yeah.
Right.
So what about ignoring Mandos? So I think Gillies.
Okay.
If you think about the hole that has got the Mando between the trees.
Par 4 where you got to go through the trees round a corner.
Yeah.
That one. Yeah, I hate that one.
If you just throw a massive drive and just ignore the Mando completely, the drop zone's quite a good spot to take your third shot from.
It's true. It is a dead straight thing, but then the problem
it
is
does put you back.
it puts you back. I would say what?
Because
Like,
the good players are getting through the Mando, round the corner, in a good spot.
yeah, because you've got to throw that with a tilt so it
We
goes
aren't.
round left.
Yeah, we aren't.
But
So,
the good
and then
players
puts.
so is it, whilst we're not good enough to do that, is it now a technique to
What? Just take a shot and then just make
just
sure you got a
blast
better
it
thing.
past the Mando,
The Mando.
Mando off?
Okay. I don't know. I feel.
You're also talking to a group of people that literally ignore a Mando every
Yeah.
time they play discard.
And if we hit a Mando or miss it, we just go, oh, it's just an additional one, which it is. And sometimes we are like, well, that's an additional one. I'll improve next time. But
hole
when
eight-
is the next time going to happen?
Hole 8 Bedworth is the one I'm thinking of in particular.
Yeah, because the rules on that are you have to reset your drive, like your T
If
drive.
you're gonna if you've only got one disc as well for your driver, that's gonna just put your steps in for the day anyway, ain't it? It's like I missed the Mando, right? I've got to walk all the way to get it, walk all the way back, compose myself, and then throw it again.
But
Yeah.
it's not. Is that a +1 or is that just shot 1? You miss a drive. Shot 2 would be from the T-pad, or is that shot? I don't know how that works.
No, and that's a good point actually, because you would not want to be on shot 3 from the T-pad because there's a good chance you're going to miss that Mando again.
Yeah, it'd be horrible. You just have to lay
I would
up.
presume
It'd be
it's shot
horrible.
2.
It would increase my score to about +50. It
Yeah.
really would. Because I'd just be half an hour stood on that T-pad losing my
Yeah, but
mind.
most of the time,
I feel like
I'm
we've all
hitting it
found
most of the time.
Yeah, we found our discs to get through it or get
I'm
to
hitting
it.
I'd say 80% of the time.
Hmm.
Now, I
Now,
wasn't hitting it at all.
no, we weren't.
But you see, again, if we play by the rules that we've been playing, you don't reset because it seems a bit ridiculous at our skill level. I can drive the river all the way to the basket if I'm not concentrating on that straight Mando.
Yeah, I think we all could.
Yeah.
Like, if we all put our
Yeah.
our maximum strength into something, we can just be like screw Mandos and just go completely for it. It gives you an additional one shot, so you're
Well, that-
probably going to get what, a par?
That leopard was the first round of the leopard round there went way through.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
true.
And
Might
then
destroy parked. So
and
yeah, it's interesting.
you mentioned this the other week as well with the rollers.
Rollers, yes. I love rollers. I feel like if it's not broken, don't fix it. Like I think so. Obviously, we bought up the tomahawk shot, which I think is one of the best things I ever. And that is a
I
particular
have more
shot.
issue with the tomahawk than
Do
the
you?
rollers.
Interesting, because
That-
I
that-
feel
that
like they're
partic-
both in the same ballpark.
That particular tomahawk.
Why?
Just that one particular
That
one,
one particular tomahawk.
because it was from a T-pad.
why?
I think it's because when you look at the course, it was designed as a dog leg to the right.
Yeah,
So
mate. If he messed,
I'm not saying he broke the rules. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying if
No, it's
you wanted
interesting.
to actually just go like somebody rolling it all the way to the basket, I'm more accepting of that than I am.
But the thing is, if he
Well,
messed up that
launching it.
tomahawk, he was in Jurassic Park.
Would it have been out of bounds? I think it was
It
an out of
might
bounds
have been
shot.
out OB, so then he'll
But
probably have to
T-pad.
T-pad.
T-pad to pin is how it's literally what you're doing.
'Cause if you
from
think-
the T-pad
yeah.
to the pin.
Because if you think about it, on some of the holes in Gillies we've played, we've ended up on another fairway and just gone down that fairway to then eventually get back onto the hole because it makes more sense.
Yeah, and
Because
it's not out of bounds.
it isn't out of bounds. It's great. I don't mind. I feel like a tomahawk and a roller are acceptable shots. You've got to be able to have that shot, though. I think it's a very particular shot and a very technical shot. Because
If there was a big gap in the woods and
okay,
he just threw it through the gap, would you have an issue with that?
it's risk reward, ain't it? Like if it was OB,
Yeah, well, no.
if he was
What's the
OB,
argument then? If
it-
he threw it over the woods, but if there was, say, a big hole in the woods, and he just threw it straight through, you wouldn't have an issue with that.
See, my question is,
But
though,
he threw it over the top,
if he threw the tomahawk,
and
right,
you're like, well, that's not right.
and all that's OB, if you're playing the OB rules, you take the shot from either where the disc is or where the disc entered. You've royally ruined your,
Well,
hole.
no, you throw it from either in that level, it's from the drop zone or back to the tee pad, isn't it?
Yeah, so he'll just re-tee and go for it again. I think it was great.
Great shot. Absolutely
Great
loved
shot.
it.
I want to
Oh.
see how his card felt about it, but I feel like, I don't know. I feel like, honestly, anything's possible.
So, but I think my biggest issue is the fact that you can still do shots like this, but you can't. I mean, I don't know why you would want to fold a disc before you throw it.
Oh,
but
I see what you mean.
You're not allowed to fold a disc.
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like I said, I'm not bothered how it goes, because I feel like if you have a drive and then you're like, oh, I'm just going to throw it, but then you actually can throw a roller further than, like, you can do a really good roller compared to a throw. I wouldn't be instantly.
Consistently throw rollers.
Yeah, you
It's
would.
all I'd throw.
Yeah, and I think that's it with anyone, isn't it? Really.
Because they're just so good.
Like, if you had a really strong forehand but a terrible backhand, and you were just like, I've just got to keep throwing this forehand, even if it's from, like, you know, meters away or whatever, why not just keep doing that?
That's me, but backhand. I'd
It's
just throw
interesting.
backhand.
It honestly is interesting, man. It's a
On
good
Sunday,
argument.
well, I'm not going this Sunday because it's bloody Mother's Day.
Mother's Day. Love you, mums.
when I go for my practice this week, I am going to see how far I can throw a tomahawk. I'm going to
Really?
I'm going to stand on hole 15 and throw it down to the football field, providing it's clear. And I'm just going
Holy
to.
cow.
I'm just going to see. I just want to know how far can I.
That's-
I've never threw a disc like that. Well, obviously, we've thrown tomahawks. We've always thrown planned tomahawks and landers back on the fairway.
Yeah.
Or, to,
I thought about doing this as well.
yeah.
Just next time we play, just
Tomahawk
bomb
off
some
15.
tomahawks.
Yeah.
I was going to start hole 1 that way. Just, yeah.
Mate.
Just start hole 1. Yeah. It's interesting. I feel like that's, like, definitely a shot we could all
Can we
know.
take 10 steps back from the tee pad and like try hole 9 like
There's no actual. Is there rules of like how
What,
big of a
over the
run up there
looks?
is? Because James Conrad's run up is like
that?
insane.
I presume the rules are you have to release on the pad.
Yeah, but like his run up is very long
Oh yeah.
because he's a tall individual. He's got gangly legs, but like at the same time, I don't know how long your run up could be. I hope there's no one like a bloody Bruno Fernandes penalty run up, like little shuffle of the feet and then go wee like that. But I don't know. Really interesting. All right,
I
not
hope
this
there
week
is.
because of Mother's Day. Shout out to all the mums out there. Tomahawk. I'll try some tomahawks.
Big up the mums.
I tried a tomahawk and threw a buzz out of bounds. That's how bad that went for me the last time I went in bed with.
At the minute, my mum's got nothing to do on Mother's Day, and the wife is out, so there's
Ooh.
a good chance I'm taking my mum disc golf.
Oh,
That's genius.
I know, that's what I thought.
That's a good argument. Leave comments below what your thoughts are on rollers and tomahawks and everything, because it'll be interesting to see a discussion on this YouTube.
Also,
channel.
mums at disc golf.
And mum's a disc golf, yeah.
Mums at disc golf.
Disc golf mums.
Disc golf mums.
Yeah, then roll on to our next topic. Consistency.
Ugh.
So, first of all, consistency over a round. And I think we all experienced a bit of this Sunday just gone.
Mm-hmm.
So we went Quarry Park, we played 2 of the short course, 2 of the long course. Well, we played what we could of the long course because it's been absolutely chucking it.
It was
down,
underwater.
It was. You needed a kayak.
Some of the best holes were underwater.
Really
Yeah.
was looking forward to 10. I love 10. The one down the hill. Love that one.
Yeah. And not just a bit boggy. Some of the best holes you couldn't see the top of the basket.
Yeah.
I'm disappointed Richard didn't get to play hole 8, the one along the river.
Yeah.
And hole 9 also along the river.
The swallower of discs.
Hole 7
Hole 8.
towards the river, because I feel like he throws it so far,
It would be so
it would
interesting.
have just gone in the water.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh, yeah. And then he would have gone in the water.
True.
there's no power control on that guy. It's just gone, isn't it?
It's gone.
I would have paid good money to see him swim in the river.
You would have.
Because he would have done it.
He would have. To retrieve it. 100%.
But yeah, consistency over round. So I had it, especially on the second big course that we did. I was throwing some holes that were birdies. The next hole was a bogey.
Yeah.
Next 2 holes were par. Then it was a bogey. and then it was a really awful like triple bogey or some you know.
Yeah, 100%.
And you know, I think that gets me down
Right.
more than having a poor round. I can
Right.
end with a good score if I've been inconsistent to the point where I'm going birdie bogey.
And it's affecting you, though.
Yeah, and that's when I start to say to myself, well, was the birdie just luck?
No, I don't think birdie's a look, because I feel like when I get a birdie, I'm like, I deserve this because I had a cracking first shot.
Yeah.
Yeah, but what's the first shot look? I think that's his argument.
Oh.
And I'm not saying
Oh, I
it
see
is,
what
because
you
when I
mean.
look back, we're becoming that consistent at certain holes and certain shots that you can actually say, we are doing well. But at the time, when I've gone from birdie to bogey, my brain just goes, you're having a crap game, mate. That birdie was just pure luck.
Yeah.
That's
how
yeah.
I
It's
felt.
downhill from here.
I know. I feel like I think there's an element of truth to that as well. But I also feel like certain holes, you just know. I think it's also what we talk about it as well. Disc selection is key, and I feel like sometimes you're just like, oh, I wish I threw something different to possibly get a little bit better to get the result on that hole. Like, I feel like for what we did on Sunday, the funniest thing about it, we went the beginner course, then the regular course, then back to the beginner course, and then the regular course. And the funniest thing is on the beginner course, we only played bergs, and somehow we shot better than what we did with just using the bergs.
I didn't.
We did.
Yeah, there's a
Yeah.
few. Yeah,
You did.
No, I got -2, I was -1 with all when I was throwing whatever discs I want. and
Okay.
Oh, okay.
I think I got +1.
I
with
felt we were all throwing
I did better.
in consistency. Yeah, interesting. Yeah, Berg Berg. What was it? The Berg Open. Dan was the first official winner of it.
Bergmasters.
Berg Masters.
Yeah, that was really good.
2023 Bergmaster.
I don't know. I feel like honestly, it's like we've all talked about don't put too many discs in the bag, but also I
All
feel
of us with millions of discs in our bag.
yeah, we all have like huge. I've took some out now. Mine are all out now.
You took them out.
I've took them out. There's one that I paid premium plastic bullshit for, which is now
Was it the
just
Maestro?
yeah, I just can't throw that.
You took it out.
I took it out.
Mad.
I know I'm mad, but hey, whoever wants to understand how to play disc golf, they can use a premium disc, But no, I feel like there's certain discs that we all want to throw, but the consistency of our throws will always continue to keep throwing those discs, and we never will take a chance on throwing certain other discs. So like,
I've become better at that last couple of weeks.
Yeah.
I was saying to Ben, I've made a point of throwing every disc in my bag.
yeah,
Yeah, I'm doing
okay.
that now.
okay,
As
because I
much
feel
as
like we'll forget about
I
them.
regret it. I just throw in it.
Fair.
Yeah, there's times like I'll go, this is where I typically throw the 8, and I'll
That's
get
what I'm
and I'll
doing.
get
I'm
the
like,
lots out.
Yeah.
Normally I'd throw this. Let's just throw this.
and see how it goes.
Yeah.
Okay.
But also, I think if I ever am looking at setting, when I'm like, you know what, this week, I'm going to try and set a good score.
Yeah.
I'm going to stick to some set discs.
To be fair, we're doing long 18 and then a short 9, aren't we, at a minute? That's our
Yeah.
typical set
Yeah.
with Bedworth. So on the long 18, I'm playing to my strengths.
Yep.
On the short 9, that's when I'm breaking some discs out,
Yeah,
like
trying them out, see what it
Duchess.
is.
And
That's probably what I should be
lots
doing,
and-
but I'm definitely doing it the other way round.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, I feel yeah, I think
I think I
That's what it
start
is,
with all
Watson.
good intentions. Like, I'll use these discs, and then when I have a shit on, I'm like, you know what, it, just use all of them.
yeah.
Just because I'm not on target to hit what I want to hit, so let's just.
Yeah, I haven't thrown the Maestro in weeks. I've been throwing the Buzz and the Mako a hell of a lot more.
Yeah, but you got 3 discs that are similar. That's my problem. I got
That's
loads of
the
discs
issue.
that are similar, so now some don't get used.
Yeah,
Like-
and that's the issue, I think, when you have when you start getting
Magician
more discs.
never comes out. Maestro doesn't really come out.
No.
I don't throw the buzz as much as I used to.
No, I've seen you starting throwing the Sting a lot more.
Sting, since I learnt the
Yeah.
little short forehand.
Yeah, 100%.
Zombie for a lot of my approach shots. It's only when I'm slightly out of berg range, like safe berg range,
Safe berg
and
range.
a bit too short for a zombie that the buzz comes out now. It's become a very specific disc,
Yeah.
where it used to be my
Because I
consistent
feel like, yeah,
approach
because you
disc.
throw the Zombie a heck of a lot
See,
more than the Buzz.
For
That's
all
what
of
I've realised.
those shots that you make, with those discs and all the shots that you make with those 2 discs, I just use the Archer.
Yeah.
That's it. That's its job. I don't use the Maestro anymore unless I think I could potentially smash this disc into a tree. I just get the Maestro out. But it is literally like it's the same when I'm throwing the other Sensei. I just use that for like, this is potentially damaging.
Yeah.
Use these ones.
But I also feel like, I think as we continue to play, discs will come out the bag and get replaced, or just be used as get
Different
mates.
things.
And get mates into playing. Use these discs that we never use anymore. But I feel like there will always be stuff that's in our bag, no matter what.
Mm-hmm.
And it might just be like, oh yeah, it's a beaten up disc. I'll just get a new one so I can beat it in, or you can go back to old reliable, if you will.
Oh yeah.
So that's a consistent round.
Yeah.
Consistent discs. What about consistency over weekly? And I've got a question for you guys actually, because I was thinking about this when I was writing my notes about what I was going to talk about tonight.
Right.
So on a weekly basis, more so now. I can't say that it's been like this forever. More last couple of months. I am consistently good on that back 9. I birdie 2 or 3 holes. I rarely drop from a par. Hole 18 sometimes gets me, but pretty much I par all them holes, if not birdie. When you guys are having a good round, and I know that we don't play particularly competitively, when you guys are having a good round and you're at a point where you're doing better than me on the leaderboard, do you enter that back 9 actually thinking, this is where Dan's gonna nail it?
Yeah, I'd probably say so. I think for me personally, I'm
gonna say something really cocky now.
Go for it. I'll let you go, and I'll say my thing after you. I want to hear the cockiness.
Because if I'm already on, if I'm playing well in the front 9, I'm normally okay in the back 9.
Yeah.
If things seem to be working for me, then I know that the back 9's going to be okay.
So you feel like you can hold that consistency.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fair. I think
it doesn't happen very often. But
I feel like for me, it's like looking at the U
the
disc.
front 9 is harder holes.
Yeah.
As well.
Yeah. Oh, 100%. But I feel like the U disc app does not lie when you look at your scorecards, and then you can look at your overall stats, or like your previous 5 rounds, or your like last 10. So I always do the last 10 rounds because I'm always curious, what am I improving on? And the fact that the pars are way more than the bogeys now is amazing. And there's a few birdies here, but the pars outweigh my double bogeys and my bogeys and the other bigger numbers, which is like what I like to see. But it's also the fact is every time we go to bed with, it's like, right, what did I do wrong on that hole last time? Right, I threw that this time, so let's try that. That works, and then just trying to understand where can I constantly keep improving and where.
I
You put a lot more thought into this than I do. I want to throw a disc and then shout at it.
Well, yeah, it's true.
I think my biggest problem with consistency at the minute, because my putting's really annoying me, is I'm just using different putters. I've got a putter that I can throw. Well, I could throw, and now I've started mixing up putters. Even that one's not as good.
Well, I said so.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's dropped because I'm using all the different putters
Yeah.
because I've got them. If I just stuck to one, the one that I like,
Right.
I'd probably be okay.
Okay.
But it's because I'm pushing myself to use the other discs that.
But do you think that's
off a bit?
But do you think that's only because you want to try out and use those discs to see if they need to stay in your bag?
Yeah.
And to make it a consistently good thing.
I'm trying to like other putters, but I don't.
But when we joked about this on Sunday, Richard was not having a particularly great round on the first round, and we joked that he just brought a couple of new discs, and we were like, that's your excuse for having a bad round this week. You're playing with new discs.
New discs, understanding.
But on a week by week consistency basis, new discs or not new discs, some weeks you just have a bad week.
Yeah.
You do, and it's true. You do have bad weeks.
I honestly feel like I had that week off when I was did my backing, and then I just can't putt since I've come back.
Right.
I'm missing putts that I was making.
But is that because you
But
think?
I can't decide if that's partially because I can't make them, or because I'm using different discs when I was just using the Sensei all the time.
Yeah.
Fair.
And to be fair, I've been consistently using the banger, and I've kind of been forcing myself to use it this week. And I kept saying that was my hero disc in the bag because I was making put after put after put.
Yeah, you're very consistent this week. You're putting.
Where before this week, I would never have said the banger was a consistent putter.
No.
But I've made it that because I've consistently threw it.
Yeah,
the
we've
Banger's
consistent.
not a great disc. I'm just going to say it out loud.
Our unofficial putter of the podcast is torn this podcast crew in half.
If you listen to Discraft, don't send me any bangers. I don't want them.
I've not retired that disc, but it rarely comes out.
Oh no, I'm gonna keep it.
Yeah,
I'm still gonna throw it.
I'm still going to throw it.
But I don't like it.
But I prefer the Sensei a hell of a lot more, and I think that's
Every
just
time.
probably because that's what you and me got, and we learned to put with those discs.
And the dagger. Don't even get me started on that thing. I think I made one good putt with it out of 4 rounds.
It's all about the Baron. You boys don't know what you're missing.
Yeah, it's true. But no, I think like consistency is just. I think it's also a mindset thing though as well. It's like I feel like where we are now and where we were when we all started playing together, and also when we started this podcast, is we have progressed so quickly in such a short amount of time because we're going out practicing, going out playing, constantly watching videos and understanding and doing little things every time we go out and try stuff, that we're evolving quickly. And that's where I think also consistency can also lack a little bit, if you understand. So it's like I would throw it this way, but if I tweaked it and used my hips more, it goes a bit further. And that's where sometimes you doubt yourself and then you throw it like completely wrong. Like for me, I can definitely say I hold on to my disc way too long sometimes, and then immediately I'm like, yeah, I held on to that and threw that way too late.
Just leaves your hand at a right angle.
Yeah. It's just like, well, that's just awful. But I feel like that's
There's
just
certain discs you get out of your bag and even stood next to you, you think, I'm still in danger.
yeah, you are still in danger. It's annoying. But it is funny though at the same time because you do have to think about all those things. You just need to think like, I think for me, it's like I'm improving and I know what I need to keep on improving on, and it will just come over time. It doesn't happen immediately overnight, and it's a progressive thing. But you should also not take everything to heart sometimes, because then you'll fall out with the sport. Like, I think if I was going to say anything, it's kind of like my background in golf. I can drive a ball. My mid game is great. Put me on the green, I'm trash. Like, I'm just not good. And that's where, like, yeah, I've got like this 260 drive. That's amazing. But if I miss like a 3-yard putt, it's the same freaking shot. And it can piss you off.
I kicked a berg that rolled at me.
Yes, you did. That was incredible. I didn't want to bring that up, but that was funny because everyone's bergs was rolling that day, especially Richard's. Richard's new berg.
Mine was up there though.
Yours
but
was
this
up there.
time, it just annoyed me, and I just walloped it.
I think that was the first time I've seen you frustrated.
That
Yeah.
frustrated at least.
It was a really bad round, and I just got myself more annoyed because every hole was bad. I say that I've definitely got a birdie.
Yeah, I'm going to say
Yeah, your archer was doing some numbers on some of those holes, mate.
you had a consistent couple of holes that were bad, and that particular hole was starting
Real
to take
bad.
the mick out of you.
Mm-hmm.
I think I hit the basket like 3 times,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and that's why I just booted it. Disc golf rage.
Disc golf's rage.
So, mentioned being at Quarry this weekend. This brings me on to my beginner tip. Course variation.
Yeah.
So, we train at Bedworth. That is our main place to be.
The home ground.
Yeah.
Our old stomping ground.
We've been to Quarry Park, we've been to Sherwood Pines, we've been to King George, Gillies, the one that you didn't come to, which always escapes me.
Yeah, that one.
Yeah, there's a tournament there soon as well.
That one.
Lichfield.
Yeah.
There you go.
That one.
We've been to a fair few courses. even the courses that are similar. So I think we refer to, I think my brother that referred to it, King George V, he referred to it as a paid Bedworth.
Yeah.
That's what I call Litchfield.
Yeah, and that's what Ben calls Litchfield. However, although that's a correct assumption because they're very similar courses, I think that every course that we've been to has offered us something different. Maybe not on the entire course, but at least a different hole or two. Because, like we said when we were talking about King George, that hole with the hill on it, and we said that it was full of ditches and hills and stuff.
Yeah.
And that made the courses just a little bit different. Quarry Park's got a river by it, and Quarry Park's got a good variety of holes. Gillies is very tightly wooded. So I think as a beginner tip, get out there.
Yeah, just try stuff out.
Yeah,
Quarry Park is the best course.
Oh yeah, no, hands down.
Hands down.
Throw that in there.
Hands down at the moment, because we've got the excursion happening in May.
Yeah,
But
June.
Quarry Park is.
Make sure you book
Oh, it's
June,
June.
off, Lee.
Right. I'm
June.
thinking May for something else. I got to remember May. No, but I'm now with you guys. I think Quarry's great because I feel like a nice.
And that's not taking anything away from the other courses.
Heck
I think
no.
Quarry just has that extra bit of variety.
I was actually so disappointed though.
Oh, yeah,
The
because
water had took out some of those holes.
Richard got to experience the more open holes, which is what he plays on a regular basis. He didn't get to play the tighter holes or the water
round the back.
holes or
Yeah.
and so he didn't get to experience the variety
The
that
fear.
we're talking about.
The fear.
The
Yeah.
fear of throwing it by the river
Yeah.
or watching me throw it over the river.
It was quite daunting,
so
you know.
it
That
curls
river
back through.
stole a magician from me, and then when we got there, the river was coming for us. You know, it was getting larger and larger into us.
I was like, let's just play this hole. And you were all like, nah.
But could we have? Could you imagine that if we'd only played at Bedworth, maybe gone King George, and we'd only played these big open courses, and then we entered the tournament at Gillies? Can you imagine arriving there tournament day and going, "What is this?"
I was already like that. It was already stressful.
Yeah.
And we'd been to the course the week before.
The week before, yeah. No, I think honestly, looking at it, if you want to just play for fun, that's fine. But obviously, we've said we all want to progress in certain points and certain like where we are in our journey in disc golf. But we're kind of spoiled in the Midlands because everything isn't a far drive away, and everything is quite close compared to like other places in England.
Great road access.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's just
I mean, I'm looking at a course in Manchester, hour and a half away. Like that's nothing
It's true.
really.
I've got a few courses I want to go to Bristol in. Just wanna go
Bristol's
there.
what, an hour 10 minutes?
Straight up, it is.
Big up the Midlands.
Big up the Midlands. Good old murky Midlands. But yeah, I feel like course variation is ideal because I feel like if you have a home course, you can understand how to play there, but then also you can practice with certain discs on certain holes because you know how that hole will be. So you can just constantly get used to new stuff at the same time before going to like a new course and just going like, oh, I have no idea what I'm going to throw here. I'm just going to do this. So
Yeah, and we bought the river at Gillies, and I threw it once or twice after I brought it.
Yep.
And it was just smashing straight into the nearest tree. So my brain was instantly like, put it in your bag.
Yeah.
Wait till you get to Bedworth and you understand the holes. You can learn how to throw it.
Hey, that's what I did with the Passion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that disc now.
I know,
Yeah.
right?
'Cause when you're doing these holes that you can learn how to throw it. But yeah, beginner tip: get out there, play some different courses, experience some stuff.
And also make a day of it. Like I think like
Yeah.
Gillies for us, obviously we've all said now that it's definitely our favourite course at the moment. But the fact is we can go there in the morning, get 2 rounds in, have lunch, and then go and have another 2 rounds, possibly even 3 if we wanted to. And it's just you can make a full day of it.
At
and
Quarry,
just
we
have
did
fun.
4 rounds.
We would have got a fifth.
We've looked
We could have easily got a 5th in.
and then went home. But
Yeah.
we could have got a 5th in and
Yeah.
been back when we'd planned to be back.
We could have got a fifth in, and I would have needed a sleep before I drove home because I was shattered.
Yeah, you were struggling towards the end. But no, we could have got at good health. We could have got 5 rounds in
Oh, 100%.
Oh, yeah.
and
Yeah.
back when we'd planned to get back.
And to be honest, we played what? 3, I would say 3 competitive rounds and then 1 where we all said, let's just throw the berg because we all own bergs now. And
the
let's just have
berg was
fun.
way
Yeah.
more competitive.
It was more competitive, I think,
I
because
was-
we were all on the same level.
I was A game. The burger I didn't play well, but I was trying to play, and then I was just like, nah.
The moment that I heard that I was going to earn a title, I
There we
was
go.
like, I'm in.
I'm in, there And also, you guys I'm the professional choke artist of our group. When you tell us scores and I'm in the lead, I'm like,
We got to do a bed
fudge.
with Bergmasters.
Yeah. In the front 9.
Yeah.
Rinse and
All
repeat.
Bergs.
All
the time.
Bergs, all the time. Yeah. Bergs is our. I think, honestly, you either love or hate the Berg. This podcast will tell you that we all love the Berg.
Oh, yeah.
We
We've also
love
got-
the Berg.
Despite the fact we hate it, we've also got to do a banger off.
We need to do a banger off.
Richard needs to get a banger.
Yeah.
Richard does need to get a banger and then regret life choices, possibly. Our unofficial podcast, but it might change. Oh, but yeah.
So let's move on to the main topic for this week.
Yeah.
So I said to you boys to pick 3 good moments, great moments, highlights. Let's go around the table, take it in turns, do 1 each,
Alright.
get all 3 out.
Yep.
I know what my 3 are.
I don't,
Mhm.
but I'll get that.
I know I gave you boys about 10 minutes to think about your 6 month, 8 month. How long have we been playing?
Since
Do
November.
you know what? I'm not even. We started playing in October, and I'm not even sure what month it is this month.
It's definitely
It's the
March.
third.
Definitely March.
We've been playing for like
I
almost.
work far too much.
You guys have been playing half a year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm almost half a year.
Wow,
Wow, that's flying.
I've
by.
probably got 2 moments off the top of my head. So
Yeah, do you want to go first?
no, but yeah, I will. So first moment, longest putt at the Gillies tournament.
Yes.
I'm just going to bring that up again
Oh,
because I got
yeah,
it.
yeah,
was
yeah.
a put.
I got it.
Yeah. That was
Yeah.
around with me, wasn't it? It was
Yeah.
that put where I was like, holy, yeah. That
I
was
got
a
it
put.
for. They're all my moments are going to be long putts, I think. But that one,
So talk me through it, because I know you got a long putt, and I know that you got to put your name on a flag and whatnot.
I got to put my name on a flag, and I was like, yeah, that's cool. And I said I wanted to, because this was when I was putting quite well.
But was it
and I
was
said
it a
it's dropped
straight
off.
putt? Was it?
Yeah, it was pretty straight.
It was pretty
just,
straight. It was
It
just
was just a
far.
good distance.
Yeah,
Right,
it was a
it's
good
nice and
distance.
Yeah, it wasn't even the longest putt I've made, but it was good, and it was a proper tester.
Yeah.
And
But that moment of actually being able to have that recognition.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's what it is. It's more the fact that I got to put my name on a card and be like, yeah, I can throw it far.
But,
Yeah.
but it's funny that, because the first one I put down as a good moment is I'd gone for a practice round on my own round Bedworth,
Yeah,
and hole 7, my drive had parked just behind them bushes, which is pretty typical, and I putted from there, and it was a great moment. That was my first like long distance putt,
Yeah.
and it was a really, really good moment, and I was on my own. And there was a part of me that went, so I remember sending the photo, saying I've just put from here,
Yeah, yeah.
and there's part of me that thought, what happens if they don't believe me? Instantly my brain went, they've got no reason to think that I'll
No.
make this up.
No.
But because
But what
no
if?
one's there, you're just like,
The what if comes in.
yeah.
Yeah.
I
Shut
always wanted to shout a woman over, like walking the
The
dog.
shuttle.
Can
Right.
you please
Come and
witness
verify
this?
putt.
gun to your head. Prove it.
Prove
Prove
it.
it.
Prove it.
Make the shot.
You've got this, man. Oh, it's true.
But yeah, no, but I love that moment. That
Mhm.
moment of because it wasn't just I was throwing toward the basket and it went in.
Mm-hmm.
It was I'm gonna make this shot. I'm gonna go for the basket
Yeah,
because it wasn't particularly important. That
yeah,
is
you
me
went
practicing.
with intent.
And I
Yeah.
thought, with intent, this is exact, and it flew exactly how I wanted it to. Hit the basket exactly like dead centre.
Yeah.
I just like bang it. I
Boom.
know what I'm doing. It's that kind of moment where I know what I'm up to.
Yeah.
And I absolutely love that moment.
Fair. First moment, me. The round we went to the park. Mansfield.
Sherwood.
Yeah, Sherwood Park. The Berg round 2 trees in second shot.
Yeah.
That was legitimately amazing. I scared. To quote me, I scared the shit out of a family as soon as it went in. They were all eating a picnic, and I just went, "Woo!" Like proper Ric Flaired it, and they just all like perked up like freaking meerkats, and was like, "Sorry," but
It was. I think for me, it was the fact that I didn't even expect it to be a putt. I obviously know that you're aiming for the basket.
100%.
The distance you had to cover and the trees that were in your way
Is
it was more like
Get it close.
You might land close to the basket.
Yeah, exactly.
And when it went in,
Yeah.
I mean, you let the world know.
Yeah, of course. I let the world know. I spoke that into existence. No, that was definitely one of my favourite things I've done recently. Definitely. It was just because it was not just because it was a berg. I meant to do it, and I was like, even if I throw it, I know it's going to get close.
Yeah.
But this is like, there's just trees and annoyance in the way, because the worst thing was the drive hit a tree right at the front and stopped it dead, and I just was like, right, got to get around this now, and it was just basically fling it, go for it. Sidearm as well, which was really impressive. Which is also another one, which I'm going to talk about next Sunday, but that's going to be the next thing.
Yeah. I think one of your best puts. No, I actually agree with you. That was a great moment.
Oh, yeah. I was well happy with it. I was like, there's been a few where I've personally been happy with that, but that is definitely peak highlight at the moment until we all get aces, which we almost all did on Sunday.
I think you know what? I think if you did that putt in Bedworth, it still would have been impressive because it still would have been a distance, but not as impressive because it was the amount of trees in your way.
It
was a very
that was it.
You threading a needle there, lady. It was a very, very good shot.
Everyone should buy a Berg. Simple as. Everyone needs to own a Berg. You know, bright pink one like Kirby. Honestly, that's what you need. No, that was it. That was number one. Definitely number one on my list of things to do right now. Is that, and that's why I need to just constantly keep believing and going at that at baskets with that thing, because that thing needs to.
Yeah.
Benji,
Number two, probably. I was gonna go with one, but I'm gonna go with a different one.
Okay.
Yeah. When it was just you and me playing, first time when hole 11 was round the corner.
Yeah.
I missed that hole.
And I did a big shot, and it landed out of bounds.
Oh,
then,
yes.
From there, I sunk it. So even with out of bounds, I was par.
Sick.
It
was the first time I've got I threw America, so it wasn't even like I was trying to.
Yeah.
Obviously, there's big putts and there's them big boy putts.
Big boy putts.
This was a big old shot.
And I think this was the first time either of us have done a big boy
This was the long shot. Yeah.
That's sick.
For us, we can do shots. Well, we can do shots similar now, but this was the first one that either of us had gone, that was pretty far.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it was the first one we actually bothered to pace out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not that I remember what the pacing was, but I think it was the first time we actually bothered to pace it. That was really good.
And I mentioned that because that was the first one.
Yeah. Yeah, no, definitely. My second one.
If one of them isn't the one that I'm thinking of, I will be shocked.
So I think the one you're thinking of is going to be my third one.
Yeah.
My second one was when we went to Gillies and did the practice round the week before the tournament.
Yeah.
And I suppose a bit like yours, Lee. I was put in a position where there was a line to the basket, but it was threading a needle.
It was.
And
You threw, was it the Saint?
The Saint just glided, absolutely pinpoint perfect.
Yep.
And for all the AEW fans out there, anytime I get a birdie, I do like to shout "Scissor me, daddy," and the roar that came out of me.
Sick.
Not my biggest scissoring, because the one at Bedworth the other week, I got a big one. That got a big scissoring.
That got a bigger scissor.
But yeah, the
Scissor.
the people that were following us round actually came and said, "Oh, yeah, well, which one of you just scored that shot?"
Yeah, it was sick.
It was a really, really good shot, and I think that's having that recognition of other disc golfers that have just seen what I've accomplished and coming in. congratulating me and
Yeah.
you know, like Ben saying on his first one, getting that recognition
Yep.
of actually being good at something. That put me on. No matter what happened for the rest of that day,
Yeah.
I was golden.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, it was.
Like I say, threading the needle, and you know, from my perspective as well, watching it go perfectly down the middle of that column of trees, and then slightly off to the right, round the back. I mean, I didn't even have a full sight of the basket.
No.
And yeah, absolutely loved it.
Sick. Yeah, that
I'm
was the one.
excited just talking about that one.
I know. That was the one I was like, he's not leaving that one out because that was sick, that shot. Shot number 2, probably this weekend. Sidearm buzz on a knee. That was sick.
Oh, from under the tree?
Yeah.
Where you got the towel out and stuff?
No, that's
no.
number 1. The buzz on 1, because I threw the new Mentor, hit a tree, threw it again, and it parked itself on a tree. And then I was like, right, I'm on a tree. Johnny Cage lean, sidearm, buzz flew in for par. That was sick.
Yeah, no, I do know which one you're on about now. Yeah, that was good.
That was sick. And that's like something I've been working on because I've been trying to understand the whole wrist action for
your
forehands.
sidearm has not exactly been great, has
No,
it?
it hasn't. It's got a really bad track. It's just not that great. But I think it's just also now figuring out how the motion is. Shout out to Robbie C for a fun video that I watched of just look like a crazy person in a park and take all your discs and know which ones you want to throw as sidearms and just get the wrist action down, and then every time just increase a little bit more and a little bit more. But he also said the best one to do was if you got a soccer field or a football field and you've got a straight line, just basically you know where it's going to go, so you want to throw it and then it's going to come back. So then just try and get it closer to the line each time so you know what it is, and then just add a little bit more and get further and further so you understand it, and then stand up, then arm closer to you, and then go like that. So just using the wrist at the moment, just still trying to get used to it because it's a weird action, the forearm throw.
To be fair, and this goes for both of you, like, I don't mind laughing and taking a mick at your poor backhands because I know you're capable of really good backhands, and it's more of a rarity that the poor ones come out. I don't take a mick at your forehands because
it's something we need to learn.
Yeah,
I just don't use it.
Yeah, you're still on the learning curve, and
It's true.
You know,
I just don't do it.
But that's the thing I said, was like I was saying to you guys, is like if I ever had to have a professional lesson, the first things I would want to learn is how to throw a roller and forehand throws.
Yeah, but like I
First
say, you know,
two.
it's a great choice for your second one because you know you threw a nice forehand that
Sick.
worked exactly how you planned it, and it goes to show that consistency,
The consistency.
and that hard work has paid off.
And it is the buzz. I'm telling you now.
So come on, then, Ben. What is number?
What's
Three.
number uno?
Number 3.
Yeah,
will
or,
be,
or the best one, or
or
where?
numero uno.
Numero uno.
First potential. Well, first very near ace with the Archer, I think,
Yeah,
because that showed me that I could, given the right disc, I could throw it straight.
Mm-hmm.
And I was so close. And on revisiting that hole this week, when I threw the Berg with exactly the same line, and it just didn't have enough to carry it because it was going.
Yeah.
But it stopped just short, didn't it? So I know I know that I can put that line in, and
It's just the Archer,
I can
man.
get it to go where it needs to go. And yeah, that for me, because that was like I think that was the first time I threw that disc, and I was like, whoa.
Mm.
And then obviously now I'm doing similar things on similar areas of that course. So
yeah. I mean, it wasn't as close, but this week you threw a very similar shot, and it was just a bit lower, weren't it? So it kind of like instead of bouncing off the basket, it just flew underneath it. But
I think it was a bit higher this
higher,
time.
yeah,
because it went over, it went beyond it, didn't it?
Yeah.
But it just goes to show you've still got that line.
Yeah.
And that capability of. If it was me, I'd be saying, because it was the same hole. And so if it was me, I'd be saying to myself, I've got to get back there next week because I'm throwing that ace.
Yeah.
Part of me wish I'd just kept throwing it
Yeah.
until I'd hit it.
I feel honestly that's like one thing we need to do one time is just get a disc and go like, this is aceable. Like Sherwood Pines, their first hole on that one can be aceable as well.
Yeah. Well, which leads me on to my top one. Well, that depends. I've got a bit of a story that
Okay.
goes with my top one. So Sherwood Pines,
Yeah.
hole 6. Yeah, hole 6.
Oh, yes.
So it was our first go round.
Yes.
Yeah, and
Oh, yeah, I remember this. Yeah. I
yeah,
remember
we
it,
spoke before about the fact that people will come up to you and say, "Oh, I didn't realise that one of baskets before," or
That's my favourite line ever.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, that's what they're for. That's my favourite one.
yeah, I was still trying to figure out what people thought they were for. Like, if you was having a guess, like, what?
It always makes me laugh. Ugh.
I mean, maybe it seems silly because we know what they're for, but if
Mhm.
you was having a guess, what else would you guess that they're for? But anyway, so yeah, we had got say a small family stopped and started speaking to us, asking us about disc golf, and we were about to tee up for hole 6, and this small family became a larger family, and then I suppose it's one of them things, isn't it, that if you get a small gathering of people,
yeah.
everybody else in the vicinity wants to know what these people are watching.
What are you doing?
So before we knew it, there was 20 people.
Yeah.
at
You
least.
pulled a crowd.
We had a crowd.
We had a crowd of people watching us.
It was like we were on the Pro Tour.
I stepped up, and I'm not gonna lie. Do you know the scene in South Park with Bad Dad where when the crowd are not chanting Randy's name, but what he hears is Randy, Randy. That was that moment for me. I could hear the crowd cheering my name,
Yeah.
and I launched that disc, and I came
So close.
so close,
So
to that
close.
ace.
It was ridiculous.
And yeah,
I
but,
thought it was in.
but jokes aside, the crowd were very much like, whoa, and it just it made me feel like I used to when the crowd would cheer when I'd race or play football,
Yeah, yeah.
and I've not had that feeling for a long time.
Nice.
And yeah, absolutely. And I think as much as that being my closest to getting an ace,
Yeah.
and that should be enough to be, a top shot or a highlight moment,
100%.
having the added bonus of that little crowd there really made that shot for me. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, and it's something I'm not going to forget anytime soon.
Yeah, 100%. Mine, 2 for 2, putting from the knee behind trees or under trees. For both for birdies. Can't beat it.
Yeah.
And look, it was absolutely
That's what
sick.
it's about.
I mean, this week when
Absolutely
you
sick.
got the ground was wet and potentially covered in thorns.
Yes, it's true, but also that's a pro tip from Simon Lazat, so I was
Bitch
very
boy towel
happy.
out, put it on
It
the
was
floor.
whoa.
I thought it was a smart
If
move.
if a pro could say get comfortable, make sure you have a towel and so you are comfortable to throw putts because
The ground's wet.
the ground
It's
is
soft.
horrible and
Just
it's
put your knee on the
disgusting.
ground
Yeah, whatever, mate.
and get
That
on
was
with
the
it.
all right. That was the first one at Bedworth from around the tree with the sensei. That went in, and then this one I was like, nah, this is piney beyond belief.
But
That was when we all
there's
had runs at that ace, weren't it? We all
Yeah.
were close on that
Yeah.
hole.
But there's getting comfortable, and there's how neatly you folded the towel.
Yeah, I folded it very neatly so it was padded, and it was very, very, very comfortable on the knee.
Yeah, well, we know. I have to go in the bushes and get your discs back out. Like,
It's 100% true. I am one with the bush. That's all I can say,
To be fair, I can't take the mick too much because this week when I reached for a disc, I couldn't get it, and that's simply being
T-Rex.
yeah.
Oh, God.
I'm vertically challenged.
And the worst thing, I hit the same tree twice, and it both got stuck in there twice.
You
The
did
same
hit
tree.
The same hole. The
Three.
Same tree.
3. The whole 3 at Quarry. Same tree. Same place. Identical. And
Out of
one
bounds.
stayed
For
in
a
the
different
tree.
disc.
One came down.
Did you throw the? You didn't throw the same disc, did you?
No.
On the
One was the
second
mentor,
round?
one was the FD.
And you just pinged them both that way.
Yep. Because I was like, if I throw him way too far over to the right, I'm going to get stuck behind trees. So let's try and throw it straight. No, I throw it way too early, so the line's just going to go really
it
close
just
to
cut
OB.
in.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
but no,
Did
yeah.
Richard do that as well? Did he throw out of bounds twice?
Not twice.
Not twice. First,
The
he
first
did it
one
with me.
out of bounds, second one.
Way off to the other way.
No, I think we were close to the fence.
It was close offence.
Yeah,
The first one, he followed me.
Oh no, you followed me, didn't you, both times? We
Yeah.
went the other way.
Yeah. And that was it. Yeah. So yeah, putting two for two from the knees.
Well, because we obviously have discussions prior to the podcast, we know what your disc of the week is. And
Oh yes.
And since you've just mentioned it, Lee, why don't you go first?
How's yeah? So everyone knows I started with the Discmania starter set and also got the Rockstar. This was actually a purchase from Ben because Ben bought this, and I had my eye on the C-Line whole range ever since it came out, and you didn't agree with it.
Yeah, I didn't like it.
And
I'm not going
I-
to say anything too bad. I just
It
didn't.
it wasn't
Off
right
the
for you.
first few throws, it wasn't doing what I thought it was going to be doing.
Uh-huh.
Oh, okay, Lee said you didn't agree with it, like it had a bad attitude.
Yeah. Well, no, because I feel like that's with everyone. I think everyone has a different type of disc. Like I was saying about, we're talking to Rich this week, was basically saying I think I just like heavier discs.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't.
I just like heavier discs. It just seems to be a comfort zone thing.
I have learned that I do not like heavier discs.
I like glidey discs.
I'll be honest.
Hmm.
Once I'll probably buy a light disc once I get that sorted.
But yeah,
I'll
so
probably use that FD money to get
Yeah,
lighter discs.
exactly.
It's gonna happen.
It's probably going to happen. So yeah, I mine is the Discmania C-Line FD.
Well, numbers.
Numbers: speed 7, glide 6, 0, turn 1, fade.
I know
So
my disc numbers,
7.6. That's really close to the river.
it is, and I can't throw the river. That's weird, ain't it? That's because
The
I
FD is a 7601.
I threw it
Definitely.
not this week but last week. I just
you were using
I
it
just
on
wanted
the
it
short 9
on the short
round,
9 and I loved it.
and then
It's a lighter Rockstar. I absolutely loved it.
Did I throw it for the first round? And
You
then
threw
after
it like-
lunch, I was like, "Yeah, just buy it off me."
Yeah, pretty much.
Is that what happened?
Yeah, pretty
Was
much.
it
yeah.
lunchtime? I went, "Yeah, just
Lunchtime, yeah.
Yeah.
Because I was like, yeah, I really like the FD, and you're like, I ate this, and I was like, why don't I just buy it off you? And you're like, okay. Wheeling and dealing in the Quarry car park.
standard."
But no, I really like it. For me personally, it's a heavier. This is really weird. Comparing it to the Rockstar, it's very similar, but it just wants to go. They both feel very, very similar, and that's probably why I like the FD a lot. And I just like it. It just feels great. The C-Line plastic's really, really nice. But then again, I am a Discmania boy through and through, so I will always sing their praise. But I really, really rate the FD. It is now the second most expensive disc I own, which I can throw. I can't throw the river, and somehow the river is a 7.7 minus 1.1. What is up with that? But then again, I also think the river is incredibly lighter compared to what the C-Line is. That's when I was like,
Plastics, different.
yeah, and just the weight of it just is different. But I also feel like I just need to understand to learn to throw
Is
the
the
river
river-
better. Simple.
What's the weight of the river? Do we know?
Do not know.
I think I've got it.
Yeah?
176.
Ah, right.
That's exactly the same as
Yeah,
the FD.
and it's so weird, and I can't throw the river. Although I am really happy with my U-disc. Like, I'm just loving that I put all the artwork of the discs on
All
my
about-
discs now.
I'm about 8 million
All
discs
about that.
behind on that. I need to
All
get
about
it all
that.
filled in.
Oh no, I like to have a flick through my disc on U-disc.
So-
I'm so far.
So here we go,
behind.
boys. I just had it. So I've got 17 discs I own. Only 13 are in the bag. So 4 have been retired.
Madness.
It is madness.
Retiring on.
I'm not retiring. They're just going in the beginner bag.
I've still got America.
America. But yeah, FD, I would highly, highly rate it. I really like the C-Line plastic. I like it because it's supposedly a stable disc. So yeah, it goes. I like it a lot.
So, we mentioned the Berg earlier. I was browsing
Ooh.
saw Blackberg. Really, really liked the Blackberg. Really liked the way it kind of shined in the light. Because Ace Disc are great at taking their photos. And
Yes.
and you can really see how the Blackberg would be a great disc.
Yeah.
And I waited, and it weren't in stock. And I waited a bit longer, and it weren't in stock. And I knew I wanted to get some glow discs, so I decided, do you know what? Let's get a Glowberg.
Yeah.
I'm not going to wait any longer for the Blackberg. A bit disappointed, but then again, the Glowberg is brilliant.
Yeah.
But when I brought the Glowberg, I thought, well, I don't just want an approach disc as a glow disc.
Okay.
I can also put with a Berg, so I kind of approach and put up in one for glow rounds.
Right.
So I wanted to make a bit meatier that I could throw in glow.
Mm-hmm.
Ace disc, cheapest distance glow disc they had was the Valkyrie for a tenner, and at one point I weren't going to put it in my bag, then it went in my bag, and then I was thinking maybe not, then it came out
then
of
it
it,
went back in.
and it went back in.
That's when you know you're going to get one.
Yeah,
Right.
and this is it. My brain kind of went, look, you're going to get it, just get it, just get it, just get it.
100%.
And it came, and I looked at it, and I thought the plastic looks a bit crap, but it's my disc of the week.
It's a good disc.
I took it down on my own for a bit of a practice down Bedworth, and I threw it, and on throw one, it went straight. That week was the week that Ben had put his back out, and me and you went to Bedworth on our own. No, Richard would have been. Yeah, Richard would have been with us.
Rich was with us.
So it was the three of us, and you know, consistently threw it straight.
Scary straight. Scary.
It is the straightest disc I've got. This week at Quarry, and it was a bit of fortune. I launched that disc straight. It was going straight. Wind caught it, took it a bit further straight, and then out of nowhere, another gust of wind caught it and took it round the dog leg to the hole.
Yeah,
like there
true.
was one point where I thought it might go in.
I know where we are now.
Yeah. Where all our discs went up either 2 or 3 times because of the wind.
Yeah.
And I was having to catch that lucky
And
break.
you got the push round.
The push round, and it was out. It looked like I knew what I was doing, but that was all wind. But what an unbelievably straight disc. Value for money. If you're looking for a £10 driver disc, then the Valkyrie, glow in the dark or not, should definitely be the one you're looking at. Speed 9, glide 4, turn -2, fade 2.
Okay.
Do you know what? It feels like it glides better than a 4. I think that's actually a low number considering how well it does
How
glide.
it does, yeah.
Your penchant for high glide discs.
But yeah, Valkyrie. Honestly, as I say, for a low priced distance disc, I couldn't recommend it more.
Oh yeah, 100%. It is very good. All right then.
So what we got, Ben?
So speaking of low priced drivers from Innova,
From Innova.
the Leopard 3.
Brilliant.
I love this disc. I'm actually gutted that I can't buy another one that's exactly the same. They've only got heavier ones
Right.
because I already want another one.
So you bought a lightweight one.
I bought the 147 gram one and I love it. First time I brought it out, I was like, this will be interesting. And I was out driving all of you with it because it's just like for a few holes, I was just out driving all of you.
With minimum effort.
Yeah, because it's so light. It's just
light.
great.
It's got glide. It's just
So
insane.
What glide is actually on it?
It's a 5. It's a 7, 5, -2, 1, I think. Yeah. Speed 7, glide 5, turn -2, fade 1.
But again, I'd say that's it shouldn't be glide 5. That should definitely be in the glide 6
Yeah,
category
it goes.
because of its weight. It's probably
Yeah.
glide 5 because of its shape, but because of its weight, it glides further than
It's
that.
light as hell though. That's the
Light.
scariest thing about it.
I love it.
And we saw that with an opposite effect to the Valkyrie on Sunday when you threw it on one of the holes and the wind took it and took
It just went.
and took it just sadly in the wrong direction.
Yeah. It was
Yeah, it
insane
went.
though.
I knew I shouldn't have threw it. Or the time or there was one time that I threw it where I really shouldn't have threw it, and it went, and then it just like span it round, and it just stopped being a frisbee. It like turned it on its side and just pushed. Do you remember?
I remember that. It went sideways literally and got pushed sideways and was like, discs should not move like that. That's just weird.
I suppose I did say it's too windy to throw this.
And threw it anyway.
But
and
threw it
for
anyway.
anyway. Yeah. I love it.
But I love it.
But
It's
I
just
threw
so
it
good.
anyway.
But to be fair, when you got it out at Bedworth week before, I think Lee had a throw, and then I went it by the bike track, and then I threw it from the bike track. So I couldn't really give it a power drive.
It rolled.
Because if I did, there's nowhere for it to really land.
Yeah.
So I'll give it. I wouldn't call it a flick. I kind of just did the movements, and
It went anyway.
Yeah, I was surprised at just how far it went when I put.
Minimal effort.
I wouldn't even call it minimum.
Just a little thing.
Yeah, I just got to move my body slightly.
I just twitched and it went miles. No,
Yeah.
it's scary how light that thing is. It just felt so weird. So
I'm
light.
definitely in the market for something like that in the future. It may not be the Leopard, but that's not taken away from the Leopard. That's because if I was to buy a lightweight disc, I'd like to buy something different than what Ben's got, so that both of us are able to try out new discs. And
It's true.
because we don't know if a different lightweight disc is going to be better or worse, because Ben's the only one that's got a lightweight disc at this point.
Yeah.
I'm definitely in the market for lightweight discs.
So Ben is putters and lightweight discs. He loves it.
So would that float in the water?
I don't think so.
I think we need to try it out. Try it in the bath next time.
So he's taking the bath with you.
I'm trying the pond.
We
Right.
could
Try
try
it
what
in
you're
the
doing.
pond,
You're
yeah.
just spinning
Yeah.
a disc around.
I'll just
Try
take
it
it
in the pond.
I'll take it the pond.
Fair.
All right.
Oh.
Splish, splash, I'm taking a bath. Love that. No, it's scary, that disc. It's how light it is. And how small it is as well. It just feels smaller than other discs. Me personally, it's weird.
So yeah, we've managed to get through all of the topics that I
Yeah.
lined up today. I think I don't know because I'm
Just
not
found a lightweight
the one
passion.
with the how light.
How
From
light?
167 to 169, so lighter than a sensor.
Yeah.
Well, oh, it's pink.
With leopard print letters.
Leopard print letters. Oh, it's right up your alley. But how much is that Page Pierce signature disc?
About the same as the last one I bought.
Wow.
Welcome to expensive discs.
that is badass, though.
It is pretty
Right.
pimpalicious, ain't it?
I think we flew through it this week. to be
Yeah, we
fair.
have. We've made good time as well.
As I said on our last episode, I'm no longer going to give a rundown of what we're talking about on our next episode. However, I'm going to say that, of course, there will be a disc of the week. Of course, there'll be a beginner's tip.
100%.
And we are going to discuss how Discheads is growing, both in the podcast and outside of the podcast.
It's true. People out there listen to us.
Yeah.
It's terrifying.
They're out there.
They're out there. There's something out there waiting for us. And it ain't no man.
They're in the trees.
I'm in the trees.
But yeah,
Yeah.
thank you for joining us. Subscribe to Lee's channel because
It's true, yeah. Just drop a like on this, subscribe to the channel, leave comments. Comments are always appreciated. We love hearing the feedback, and even if you've got questions, even start a discussion about the roller tomahawk thing. I'm really intrigued by that. And if you're on Podbean, feel free to subscribe to our feed. Because funny enough, when you listen to these podcasts, if you listen to Podbean, it's out a day earlier before it's on YouTube at the scheduled 9:30 in the morning on a Saturday. So yeah.
Bob.
Oh, Bob.
But yeah, feel free to come and say hello to us if you recognise us and we're out and about. Come and say hello. It'd be nice to actually say hello to people in person.
Would be. And we're not that terrifying. We don't bite hard.
Lee will throw a disc at you.
I'll throw it a disc at you.
You don't bite.
Garen, frickin' T, that'll happen. That almost happened this week, didn't it? With a mentor. Jesus. Almost killed 2 women. That was scary. That was
It's every
terrifying.
week, Lee.
It's not every... Maybe
is
it is
every
every
week.
week.
You're going to say that there's so many times I can name that you've nearly hit someone with a disc.
Swear, I do not sacrifice goats just to make sure my discs go further or aim for people, okay?
It was close. this week was real close.
It was
I think.
very close. The wind took that new disc of mine and almost killed them. Yeah. But on that note, take care, guys.
That's how for now.